Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, aka Mazuma TV, back at y'all with some more boxing talk, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive night. Hope you had a great day overall, man. I'm back at y'all with some more boxing talk. We're gonna be speaking about Alycia Baumgardner selling sex appeal, but can she sell fights? We definitely gonna be speaking about that. We're gonna be speaking about Moses Itauma versus Filip Hrgovic and why I believe Moses Itauma is feeling the pressure in the lead up to this fight. Then, of course, we go get into some open boxing topics. But before we get into all of that, if y'all could please hit the like button on the way in, that'd be very much appreciated. We on the road to 4K. We well into the 3,700 mark. Looking to crack that 3,800 mark in due time. Shout out to the nation and the mob for making this possible. Big shout out to everybody that's been supporting the channel, whether it's through super chats, whether it's through Cash Apps, Venmos, all of that good stuff, man. Thank you very much for supporting. Shout out to the replay gang. I know y'all not in the comments. I know y'all not in the chat, but I know y'all in the building. Salute to the replay gang, of course, man. Shout out to everybody that's in the comments thus far. Shout out to Marissa Alvarez with the first comment of the day. What's going on, little sis? How you doing? The boxing community's favorite, that is Marissa Alvarez. What's going on? Sean Terrence, what up? What's going on? What's going on, brother? Good to see you. Josue Hernandez. Shout out to the boy. Hey, what up? You sound a little zesty when you writing shit though, brother. Mazuma, where you at, bro? Yeah, you sound a little zesty to me, man. You gotta watch how you spell certain words, man. And that's not very masculine of you. Justin Jackson, what up? He said, "Here comes the slander." Not necessarily. I'm gonna just bring up the truth. You know what I mean? We're gonna bring up the truth. We're gonna call this shit like how we see it over here. You know what I'm saying? Chris Maldonado. I think I already should. Did I shout you out already? No. Shout out to the boy Chris Maldonado. Lorenzo. Jay. Marlon is in the building. My boy Tricks. That's my guy right there. I fuck with Tricks. What's going on? What's going on? Kayvon, what up? Salute to everybody that's in the building. What's going on? How we feeling, man? Talk to me. What's on the people's mind, man? Before we get into the topics, let me know what's on y'all mind. And if y'all new to the channel, let me know where y'all from so I can shout y'all out. You know what I mean? I found out my boy Bethaniel from Seattle. I was talking to the wifey about that shit earlier. She want to go over there so bad. I'm gonna get that done. She deserve it. You know what I'm saying? She deserve it. Shout out to Tokyo. Shout out to Cali, all that good shit. Nick J. Yo, Nick J, why you do me like that on Twitter, Nick J? When you know your homie was in the wrong. You start questioning my upbringing because I had a disagreement with your friend, with your little friend. Tomorrow you're gonna share. I'm gonna share my IG story with you as a fire box unless I create it. Okay. Yeah. Send me that, Marissa. You know I'm always available to talk to you. Listen, I'm not new, but I live like 25 minutes from you. Yeah. Shout out to the boy Chris. That's Philly in the building. Absolutely. You from up northeast though, right, Chris? I'm in north. Oh, that was Boxiano. I'm sorry. My apologies. I thought I seen your name. All right, I seen something about Queens of Boxing Talk. My apologies. I'm talking out of turn. I'm sorry. Trick said Fundora car got announced. Did you peep it? Let's actually take a look at that. Let's take a look at that. I'm glad you brought that up because I probably would have went past that topic, to be honest with you. So let's go ahead and pull that card up. I'm sure it's on Instagram, of course. PBC probably got that posted. Hopefully they had that posted. I seen Jamal Charlo's coming back. I seen that. I definitely seen that. Come on, man. No. Did y'all see Sebastian Fundora profile picture on IG? He got like an AI picture of him buff as fuck. He definitely trolling. But anyways, so I'm gonna share the screen for the people to see. Shout out to Paul Blake. He said, "Go Birds." I feel you, homie. Dank Father, what up? What's going on? Hope everybody's doing well, man. God bless. God bless. Anyways, look at the undercard that has been announced on PBC. Sebastian Fundora versus Ermal Hadribaj. If I said that wrong, my apologies, of course. Brandon Figueroa versus Tamaki Kameda. I'm familiar with Kameda. I'm familiar with him, so that should be a pretty exciting fight. And Jamal Charlo versus Cohen Mazoudier. Is that, quick question, y'all? Is that the same opponent that he was supposed to fight out in Australia? That's interesting because when Jamal Charlo pretty much had visa issues and wasn't able to make it over to Australia for the fight, I was like, they just need to go ahead and move Jamal Charlo's fight to the Sebastian Fundora card. And that's exactly what they did. Smart move. Y'all notice that Stephen Fulton ain't on that John, though. Y'all peep that? They got the nigga he beat on the undercard, but not him. They probably fed up with him. I done heard some shit. I don't know if it's true, though. I heard that. I don't even think I should say it. I ain't gonna say it. I'll tell the group chat, but I ain't gonna say it out loud. Because, you know, motherfuckers be watching my channel. You know what I mean? They be screen recording now. They be posting my clips on Twitter now because the channel's starting to get bigger and more recognition. So, you know what I mean? Shit be spreading like wildfire nowadays. That's a same Australian guy. Okay, well, Jamal Charlo really locked in on him, or at least the matchmakers really want him to fight him. You know what I mean? That's what's up. How they got this on TNT over Foster Navarrete, I can't really tell you, brother. I don't know exactly how they go about choosing which fights are going to be on TNT. I don't know if that's like an executive decision. I don't know. I don't know if that's previously discussed, you know, by the higher ups. I don't know what's going on, but regardless, you know what I mean? Regardless, I'm gonna watch. You know what I mean? I'm gonna watch it whether it's on TNT or if it's on DAZN. But, you know, Oshaki and Navarrete is definitely worthy of being on TNT. I'm gonna just say that. Said Keon used to train in my gym and a lot of my teammates spar. Who you referring to? Keon Davis? Who you referring to? Well, Sway Hernandez says, Mazuma, what's your thoughts on the Golden Boy card announcement today? That shit is a great card. Well, we could go ahead and take a look at Golden Boy. What's the Golden Boy card? Let's see. I have not been on my phone all day, y'all. My phone died while I was at the gym, so I wasn't on it. And then I was just locked in at work today, so I really wasn't on my phone too much. But I'm assuming you're talking about the Lucas Body and Floyd Schofield card. Why is it not coming up? Did Golden Boy block Mazuma? Did they block me? There's no way. Okay, never mind. They didn't block me. But I mean, it's the fights that I already seen. Schofield versus Body and Collazo versus Sandoval. I don't really see anything. What else? What other fights was added to the card? Anybody know? Yeah, I don't know what to make of that. I already knew about those two fights. Oh, okay, Shay. I forgot you from Australia, man. Shout out the down under, man. Shout out to Australia, man. I be forgetting where y'all be from. That's why I be telling y'all to mention it in the chat. You know what I mean? But anyways, it's in Chicago. Yeah, I seen that it's in Chicago. You know what I mean? Like I said, these are things that was already put out previously. So I thought it was gonna be something that I didn't know about, but you know, I already saw it. But that's what's up, man. You got some good cards to end off the year. You know what I mean? I'm with that. I'm looking forward to seeing how Floyd Schofield, you know, fights Lucas Body, man. I'm looking forward to seeing his game plan, how the way he deals with the moment. You know what I mean? If Lucas Body's gonna, add some new wrinkles to his game, or be or come out guns blazing. I'm looking forward to seeing that, because stylistically that fight could be very intriguing, very exciting as well. Um, the Sebastian Fundora card, I'm not well versed on Ormall, so I'm not gonna judge the dude. I just know that this is not a fight that we asked Fundora to fight, but according to WBC, that was his mandatory, so it is what it is. Brandon Figueroa versus Kameda, that should be an interesting fight, based off of what I've seen with Kameda, but I'm gonna have to study him a little more. And I know nothing about Cohen Mazzuti or whatever his name is, but I'm really well versed on Jamal Charlo, so we'll see. Jamal Charlo been staying in shape. He's been staying active. You know what I mean? Salute to him. He still got his problems, obviously, but you know what I mean? I hope that as he continues to fight, he gets rid of some of these things. Figueroa, you said Kameda versus Kameda. Lorenzo, what you off the bottle? What you off that motherfucking yak? My brother is Kameda fighting himself. What we talking about, man? I hope you meant to say Figueroa versus Kameda. Sean Terrence said, I hope it's a cherry pick going wrong for Fundora. Shit. I gotta study him. I'm not gonna make that assumption, but that's the two cards that have been announced today, or at least within this last week. But I'm not gonna really speak too much on that, because I really want to get onto these topics. I gotta get up early tomorrow, drop my son off so I can go to work and shit like that. I got 1 week left until I'm finally done at this job. Expect to see some new shit going on with Mazuma TV, man. He said my supervisor walking around, I'm ducking like Virgil right now. This nigga crazy as shit. I gotta favorite that comment. That comment is fucking hilarious. On StreamYard, you could star certain comments and shit. I'm gonna make sure I start that one. That was funny. He said, I don't wish that. I want to see Boots break him up. I mean, to me, I just want to see Boots collect all the belts. So whoever has it at that time, that's what I want to see. I mean, shout out to the boy Art Man. What up, brother? So let's get into these topics, man. Of course, I'm gonna be speaking about the Moses Itauma versus Filip Hrgovic fight first, because I think that's a pretty interesting fight, and it's coming up this week. We got Moses Itauma, who's on the cusp of making history. You know what I mean? If he's able to defeat Filip Hrgovic and become the IBF heavyweight champion of the world, he'll be the second youngest heavyweight champion in boxing history. To my understanding, that's what's going on. That's what's being pushed out there. I mean, it's a lot of pressure on Moses Itauma to perform well. He's fought Dillian White, he's fought Jermaine Franklin, but to be fair, when he fought Dillian White, he was a shell of himself. You know what I mean? That was just a young dude getting an old dude up out of there. You know what I mean? And Jermaine Franklin, he was just a tough, journeyman, to be real. You know what I mean? Gave everybody tough fights, but always lost. You know what I'm saying? And he had never been stopped. And, Moses Itauma was able to get that stoppage. So that was a statement on his behalf. But outside of all of that, Moses Itauma hasn't really done much. Filip Hrgovic is somebody who's been around the block at this point. You know what I mean? He's had some, good fights. He's had some mishaps in fights as well. You know what I'm saying? But he's experienced. And when I'm listening to this dude talk during these press conferences, he seems to be very confident. And for those of y'all who don't know who Filip Hrgovic is, man, he's a top heavyweight contender in the sport of boxing. 6'6", Croatian, from what I understand. And the last time when I had looked at his record earlier, I believe he had he's 20 and he definitely got a loss, because we all watched when Filip Hrgovic got knocked out by Daniel Dubois and shit like that. But since then, he's racked up a few different wins. You know what I'm saying? Remember, he beat up on Joe Joyce. I mean, he's washed, to be honest with you. David Allen, David Allen is a UK level fighter, to be real. And then David Adlier. I mean, tough dude, but he was able to get that victory as well. So he got his momentum back. He getting back into the swing of things. But Moses Itauma is absolutely on fire right now, man, in terms of how the way he's been performing and stuff like that. But he is young, and with youth comes like fragility. And I'm not saying that he's mentally weak and stuff like that, but he is saying certain things during, you know, these press conferences. He's saying certain things during these little sit down interviews, and is letting you know, what he's thinking or what his mindset is. And I ain't gonna lie, man, like he's saying some things that are a bit concerning to me. I don't know most of the time his mentality, so this could be just him just uh being transparent. This could be him just you know, he could be capping. You know what I mean? He could be capping. He could be, you know, giving people the impression that he's not ready or he's not in the best state of mind. But when in reality, he is. You know what I mean? He could be giving us the okey doke for all I know. You know what I mean? Hayes says he said himself he don't want to be in the sport long. He want to get the most out of it young and lead. You know, to be real though, hey, a lot of people say that. A lot of people say that. Oh, I'm gonna be in boxing for a small amount. I'm gonna be in and out. Blah blah blah. You know what I mean? They try to be like, you know, these other guys that, you know, left the game early with all their assets and stuff like that. I heard Bam saying that, but I don't really believe those things until they actually do it. You know what I mean? Because, you know, once you get to the peak of boxing, it becomes very addicting. That spotlight, you know, is very addicting. You know, that adrenaline rush that you get for being in those big events is very addicting, and the money that you get, you know, for performing in those mega events is addicting as well. And you know what I mean, there's people who are addicted to the spotlight. I think Floyd Mayweather had a lot of trouble stepping away from the spotlight, you know, in his early years of retirement. And then, you know, a lot of these dudes don't really take care of their money, and they have to constantly come back to the sport of boxing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying Moses is either one of them. Maybe he's telling the truth, but I don't really believe those type of statements until they actually do it. Because a lot of them say that, and then, you know, like Canelo said that he was going to retire at 30. I forgot what age he said, and he's currently that age now, and he's not retiring. You feel me? So it's like people say things and then they don't do it. A lot of the time, shit don't go to plan how they think it. They don't think it's gonna go to. Slipping over my words today. A lot of the times, these people think that their career is gonna go a certain way, and it rarely ever does. So I'll reserve my opinion on that. Boxing Wiz said free smirk, and I got Marksman, Carolyn Dubois, Moses Itauma, Najee Lopez, and Lester Martinez at plus 116. Damn, plus 116. You got all of that just to get plus 116. All right. That's what's up. But let me share the clip of what Moses Itauma said during this interview. And y'all let me know if I'm tripping. This could be very concerning, but you know, at the same time, this could just be Moses being honest. So we'll see.
Mentally, I've also been.
Let's hear what he got to say.
It's a fight that.
You know, physically, mentally, do you feel like this is probably, you know, the best possible place you could be in heading into a fight of, you know, of this magnitude?
Physically, mentally, I think physically I've been better, but mentally, I've also been better. But I think it's enough to beat Hrgovic.
Now that is a level of transparency that you rarely ever see in the sport of boxing. Fighters who actually keep it real about how they feeling in the lead up to a fight. Because usually when you hear boxers talk, they say shit like, "Oh, this is the best camp I ever had. You know, I'm focused, I'm locked in. You know, I don't have any injuries, blah blah blah." And then after the fight, they're like, "Oh, well, you know, I had trouble at home, and you know, my wife don't like me, and then my mom cursed me out, and then, you know, I hurt my hand 2 weeks before the fight, and you know, then I twist my ankle when I was running the day before the weigh-in." And, you know what I'm saying? So you hear fighters say only keep it real after the fight. You know what I mean? It's very rare when a fighter is giving you complete transparency, you know, hours before the biggest fight of their career. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing that he said. And I was like, damn, that's kind of honest. And you know what I mean? Is this, you know, and like Meek J just said, you know, he could be playing mind games. Like I said, he could be giving us the okey doke. However, you know, the other side of the coin is maybe he keeping it real. And maybe he's just that honest of a person. But this could also be just Moses, you know, being checked out mentally as well. I hope that's not the case because I put a lot of, you know, stock in the Moses Itauma. He's one of my favorite up and coming fighters right now. To be honest with you, he's actually my favorite, young guy in the sport of boxing. You feel me? That's not a world champion. So I want to see him do well. I want to see him absolutely cook Filip Hrgovic. But hearing this, I'm not like necessarily worried or concerned or anything like that. But that shit kind of got my radars up. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I mean? That shit definitely got my antennas, up. So I'm paying close attention to Moses Itauma. Not only that, but I seen Filip Hrgovic popping that shit to him during the press conference. And he was like he basically was saying, oh, like Moses is young. He's not ready for this level of success, right? And Moses Itauma literally agreed with him. And I don't understand why, but so you got to understand my thought process, yo. He's sitting here saying that he's not the best that he could be mentally or physically. He just said that. Now, Filip Hrgovic told him, yo, like, you too young. Like this game pretty much gonna swallow you whole. Pause. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna consume you. Like you're not ready for this level of success. This world title will be the destruction of your career. And Moses admitted that winning the world heavyweight title on Saturday night might not be good for his soul. Right? So now I'm hearing that and I'm like, all right, bro. What's really going on here? You know what I'm saying? Like that's just how the way my thought. Like, why would you agree with that sentiment? You should be confident in yourself and like, nah, nigga, like I ain't gonna fuck that bag up. Like I'm gonna keep grinding. I'm gonna stay hungry. He's literally sitting there and agreeing with Filip Hrgovic. So that's pretty fucking interesting that he said that. Like I don't really hear fighters say that. Yeah, this might just be bad for my soul. Like a world title. Ain't this what you've been? Ain't this what you've been grinding for? Ain't this what you've been chasing? Then I heard him say that him being the second youngest, heavyweight world champion doesn't interest him. And I'm like, Moses, bro, like you're saying you either being completely too honest or it's like you're feeling the world of the world. You're feeling the weight of the world on your shoulders and you're trying to do everything you can to alleviate some of that pressure off of you. That's what it sounds like to me. You feel me? But like I said, I'm gonna say I'm unfamiliar with Moses Itauma because he is a young kid on the scene. You know what I'm saying? And his thought, the way that he moves is probably it's probably in a way that I'm not accustomed to. Maybe he's trolling, maybe he's not, maybe he's playing mind games with Hrgovic. Maybe he wants Hrgovic to be overly confident. Maybe in his mind, all right, if I say this and I say that, I'll probably get Hrgovic feeling, overconfident and I could surprise him. I don't know, bro. These, the mental war games could get real deep and sophisticated, or extensive, whatever you want to call it. But you know what I'm saying? I'm hearing Moses Itauma say these things, and I'm like, bro, it's either you keep it too fucking real, or you fighting some battles up here, man. You know what I mean? So do I think Moses Itauma could beat Filip Hrgovic? Yes. Do I think it's going to be an easy fight? Not really. Hrgovic done been around the block. He's a tough outing for a lot of these guys at heavyweight. But Moses Itauma has tools in his toolbox that a lot of these heavyweights don't have. That natural athleticism, that speed. The speed is going to be what really fucks with the heavyweight division, man. You know what I mean? And then Moses Itauma 6'4", he got a 6'7" reach. You know what I'm saying? The level changes, the hand speed, the reflexes, the punching power, the punch placement. I was watching back that knockout he did on Jermaine Franklin, bro. That was a fucking nasty uppercut, bro. That was nasty. So this dude, Moses Itauma could really be special. But I'll tell you this, bro. I'll tell you this. If he go in there and he just beat the dog shit out of Filip Hrgovic, dog walks him, just punishes him, packs him, get him up out of there, the heavyweight division gonna be in trouble, man. The heavyweight division is gonna be in trouble if he just if this shit's not competitive and he just dog walks Filip Hrgovic like a easy early rounds type of fight. These dudes in heavyweight gonna be in trouble, bro. Because I'm already under the belief, like I'm so sold on Moses right now that I feel like a lot of niggas can't fade him. Like already, with him being inexperienced, with him not, being in any championship level fights, not facing anybody elite, I'm already sold on the product that they're showing me on the big screen. You feel me? And Hrgovic isn't the best heavyweight in the world, but you know what I mean? He's a top contender. At least we could all agree and say that. So if he just makes easy work with the top contender in the heavyweight division, and this motherfucker Moses Itauma is every bit of 21 years old, these niggas are in trouble, man. These niggas are in trouble. Kabayel, fucking all of them, Bacoli, whoever the fuck is still around. Usyk on his way out, so I don't see him giving Moses an opportunity. But all these other guys, shit, they in trouble, bro. But shout out to everybody that's in the comments. My boy Jalil Aziz. Hold on. There's more comments. Nick J think he's being facetious. Okay. Josue says Hrgovic seems super confident. That's what I'm peeping at. Actually, I got the press conference right here. I'm about to just play it for y'all, and y'all let me know what y'all think. You feel me? But Moses is kind of worrying. I'm not gonna say worrying me, but he got me a little like looking at him sideways, like, what's going on? Like, what's the mentality, bro? Because you being a little bit too transparent for me. You being a little bit too honest for me. But you know what I mean? Let's see it.
Saturday Fight Night on
Championship. Filip El Animal Hrgovic.
This nigga Hrgovic dressed like Rolly. They got the button up with no shirt on. I don't know what's going on. These motherfuckers be feeling themselves, man.
Here is the fearless, explosive, and undefeated heavyweight sensation, Moses Itauma.
Let's get straight to Moses. It has been some rise for you, and in recent weeks being sort of blown up on social media, seen pictures on buses, your team above there on the balcony. High expectations, high pressure now, something that you thrive on even at the tender age of 21. Has anything been unsettling you in this build-up, or has it been more focused and more engaged than ever?
Well, thank you everyone for coming out. I want to first address that I'm not trying to become the second youngest heavyweight champion in the world. I'm trying to beat Filip Hrgovic and become a heavyweight champion. Second of all,
why did he feel the need to mention that? Why is that something you want to disregard so bad? What's wrong with making history? Why is that something to not be interested in? I don't really understand that. You know what I mean? Like that should be something you chase, because you know what I mean? That's the little shit that can make you a legend when it's all said and done. I mean, that's a hell of a feat to have on your resume. You know what I mean, but I don't know. That shit like that is kind of throws me off. By the way, Moses looked like a big ass Puerto Rican boy. I ain't gonna lie. Nigga look like he's straight from the island.
listen, this fight is what I wanted. I've asked Queensberry for so long. I think it's a style matchup that I reckon I can thrive on. The pressure I can thrive on. And it's just waiting to find that.
How are you feeling this time around as opposed to before Dillian White or before Jermaine Franklin? Obviously, the World Heavyweight Championship on the line. Your toughest test to date, undoubtedly, in the quality of Filip Hrgovic. What's it been like in the last few weeks?
I'm not really like... obviously, the world title is an achievement and an accolade. That's a +1, but my sole focus is Hrgovic. I don't like if I ain't gonna be Hrgovic. It doesn't matter about the world title. It doesn't matter about the noise. It doesn't matter nothing. So my job is to just be victorious, fight that.
Do y'all see what I'm saying though? Do y'all see what I'm saying though? They keep bringing up the world title, and he keeps brushing it off. And he's making it clear that in his mind, beating Hrgovic is more important to him than becoming world champion. That's something that is a bit different for me. Not saying that it's a wrong way of thinking, because he's making it clear that he's focused on his opponent. But I usually hear guys say, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, it's nothing personal towards this guy. I just want his world title. I remember Chris Eubank said that about Nigel Benn. But like a lot of guys, the reason why they're fighting them is because of the jewelry that they have, not necessarily because it is them. So in Moses Itauma's mind, he's so locked in on defeating Filip Hrgovic that the world title isn't even like a main concern for him. You know what I mean? That's just like, you know what I mean? That's just like an ad. That's just a plus at the end of the day. You feel me? And Nick J's right. You know, she says if he beats him, the other comes with it. So, you know what I mean? Maybe Moses is thinking like, all right, this is the guy that I need to, this is the main thing I need to worry about is Filip Hrgovic, because, you know, if I lock in on him and I beat him, then, you know, that world title going to come to me regardless. So maybe that's his way of thinking, but it's a bit different from what I'm accustomed to seeing and hearing and witnessing. I mean, because a lot of the times these guys is only wanting to fight these guys because they are champion. We have Moses Itauma over here saying that, you know, the world title, gaining the world title isn't a priority for him, is beating Filip Hrgovic. So, like I said, not a wrong approach, just a different, unfamiliar approach from my experience. And in a way, you know, depending on who the person is, I'm a bit open-minded, so I'm gonna just take this as a new, you know, point of view, like a new perspective, you know, that isn't necessarily wrong. But some people can take that as, you know what I mean, him disregarding the idea of being a world champion. You feel me? Because a lot of people you typically use the world title chase as their motivation, their priority. You feel what I'm saying? So it's different.
Victorious fight night, obviously the long camp with Ben and Barry and Lee and everyone up there. Has it gone perfectly? Have you had the right sparring? Are you as good as you can possibly be ahead of Saturday?
Yeah, man. I'm not gonna sit here and say I didn't, but yeah, man, it's as good as it can be. Yeah, man, I'm ready to rock and roll. I don't know what else to say.
You're ready to rock and roll. Has Filip been getting under your skin a little bit with some of the things he's been saying?
No, man. At the end of the day, talk is cheap. He's just got, you know, schoolboy banter, and that's it, man. You got to keep rolling.
Do you agree with Moses that it's just schoolboy banter in the build-up, and now with 48, 50 hours to go, it's about the serious business of winning a fight, and for you to become a heavyweight champion after everything you've given the sport?
Sorry, what was the question?
The question was the banter with Moses. Is that all just part of it, part of the games of the build-up, and now it's about serious business? Or is that a psychological edge that you're trying to get over on him?
No, man, I'm just telling you facts. I'm not playing any games. I just tell you what I think in the moment. Like I said, I'm not so smart to play these mind games. And I just tell you what I think, you know. I think he's a kid, you know, he's not mature enough. I think I'm the man. I'm in much better age, much more experience. And yeah, that's it. No mind games.
No mind games.
So basically, Hrgovic is saying, like, bro, you're not at an age or an experience level where you deserve this. That's basically what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? He's like, bro, you're not ready for this. You didn't do what needed to be done in order to be ready for this situation. So in his head, it kind of sounds like underestimating from Filip Hrgovic. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's what it come across as, because, you know, Moses Itauma, he's been grinding. He's been doing his thing. Like I said, does he have the most notable opposition? Has he faced some of his opposition at the best points of their career? No, but, you know, Hrgovic, I mean, Moses Itauma is 21 years old. They building him. They was taking their time with him. You know, and initially they was disregarding like title eliminators against like Frank Sanchez and shit like that. And in my head, I'm like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Like they just don't feel like they're ready for that step. You know what I'm saying? But now, you know what I mean? A fight later, he's about to fight for the full-fledged world title. And in my head, I'm like, damn, like if he wins this world title, ain't no, stepping back and, continuing to develop and learn your craft. No, you gotta go up against the real monsters now. So I said all of that to say, Moses Itauma done, I think he's progressing, he's doing well. But in Filip Hrgovic's mind, he looks at him like a kid. You feel me? He looks at him like a child who, is doing well, but isn't ready for the things that, he, who is Filip Hrgovic, brings to the table. So it does sound like a bit of underestimating to me. He pretty much calling him a young bull, and that he not ready for this type of smoke. He not ready for this type of situation. He's not ready for this type of success because he hasn't, taken the steps necessary to be ready. That's how I perceive Filip Hrgovic's statement.
Just physical victory for you on Saturday night.
Yeah. God willing, I'll beat him. I'll smash the kid on Saturday. I'll send him back to high school.
And you're absolutely convinced that Filip Hrgovic...
He talking shit. So he gonna send this nigga back to high school. Yeah, he talking crazy. He definitely trying to get in Moses' head. He probably thinks that Moses is like a young bull that he's vulnerable to trash talk or having some type of emotional outburst. You could tell Hrgovic is definitely poking at him, trying to get him to respond.
Which will become the heavyweight champion of the world after all his promise over the years. This is the time to deliver.
Absolutely convinced Filip Hrgovic will knock out Moses Itauma this Saturday, and we're going to have a new heavyweight champion. He's from Croatia.
I love these build-ups because I'm going to Francis Warren now. So your man's going to get knocked out. All the talk of him becoming a generational grade and along the lines of the superstars we've talked about over the years. You obviously don't think that's going to happen. How proud are you of the way Moses is dealing with all of this, and how nervous or excited are you ahead of Saturday?
First of all, very, very proud of the man to my left who, Filip called him a kid. I met him when he was a kid, and he's always been a very big kid, and he's developed into a phenomenal young man. He's a pleasure to be around. He conducts himself impeccably, and he works so hard, Adam. It's beyond belief, and it's not just working on the boxing side of things. He works on his how to behave and as I said, how to conduct himself out in the ring. And it's just a pleasure to have seen him develop into such a phenomenal young man. That's got a huge amount to do with his family, all the guys up there, and who look after him day in, day out. And obviously the training side of things in the Ben Davidson Academy. I think he's got a fantastic team around him that have helped him go from strength to strength. But most importantly, this is all down to this young man and how he conducts himself. From the boxing side of things on Saturday, you know what I'm going to say. I've got every confidence in him that he's going to go and do the business and become heavyweight world champion. But as Moses quite rightly said, the most important thing is the win and the accolades that will follow. Is the IBF world title. But the most important thing is to focus on the win. And obviously it's the best man win, but I do feel like Moses is the best man for Saturday night.
One more for you. Moses has been talking.
To answer some questions real quick, Josue asks, is this Moses' first 12-round fight? It is. He's done a few 10s, but this is his first 12-round fight. This is his first title fight. So, yeah, I remember the Jermaine Franklin one was scheduled to go 10. I don't believe he's fought since then. But, yeah, this is his first 12-rounder. So, he's prepared for 10s. But, this one is it's a different type of preparation. It's a different type of pace that he's sparring at, more rounds. He putting in more work. So this is a new experience for Moses. And I hope that he's doing the right things in camp in order to be ready for 12 rounds. Because I think, and I'm not saying that this is Moses' mentality, I think it'll be pretty foolish to believe that he's just going to get Hrgovic up out of there quick, fast, in a motherfucking hurry. You know what I'm saying? This might be a fight that goes into the championship round. So I hope Moses has the stamina necessary to carry himself over into the rounds and still be effective.
About Filip Hrgovic as an opponent for a
Excuse
while.
me.
You have to. Yeah, go on, Filip. Sorry.
I have one question. I'm confused. He said that that Moses is in the best shape ever, and Moses said that he's not in such a great shape, that he's like in decent shape.
I said he's in
he
fantastic
thinks-
shape.
But he thinks that it's enough for me. That's what Moses said, and you said opposite. So I'm confused. Is that like already some excuses from Moses or what? In case he lose.
There'll be no
I'm just
excuses.
confused. I just want an explanation.
As you were saying,
Because I told you I'm not so smart.
Maybe it's a miscommunication.
I'm not so
in
smart.
language.
You must to explain me. I don't understand.
Maybe it's miscommunication in the language, Philip. Maybe. I'm not sure.
What? I don't understand. No.
There you go. That's the problem.
What would be the perfect performance?
a perfect.
I wonder why Moses ain't answering. Maybe he just don't want to do no rapping with the nigga or whatever the case is. But I mean, Moses did say that he's not, at his best mentally or physically. I believe that's what he said. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Let me hear that one more time. He's saying that physically and mentally he could have been better. So in Hrgovic's mind, he perceives that as, Moses lacking. So he asked the question, and Moses didn't even bother to answer. How do y'all interpret that?
The performance, obviously, go a couple rounds and then finish the job.
It's more of the same. It's what you've been doing.
Exactly. Same script, different story.
You believe that you'll get him hurt early, you'll get him into traps, and you've got the ruthless and predatory finish to get him out of there.
Come on, what do you think, Adam?
I'm asking you. It's not about what I think.
Me standing here in front of a camera, in front of a microphone and saying what I'm gonna do, it doesn't mean much. It means Saturday night. That's the most important thing. Like, I'm not trying to engage in any back and forth, nothing, because my eye is solely on the target. So
You've had hundreds of rounds as an amateur and a pro. Do you think it ends quickly for you, like your manager says, within 3 rounds?
Sorry, guys, I don't understand that British accent so well. I didn't understand you anything. What he said, he's gonna knock me out in 2 rounds?
Yes.
We'll see, man. No one ever knocked me out any time in my life. I had like so many fights, amateurs, professional, WSB. No one ever knocked me out. So only I was stopped against Dubois because of the cuts, and I was in terrible shape because of sickness. And
Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit, Philip. Fuck out of here. You got stopped, nigga. That's a knockout. So you've been knocked out before. Nobody trying to hear that, nigga.
no one ever knocked me out. So if people say, he's next Muhammad Ali, we'll see, man. I hope so. I'm not next Cleveland Williams or, Ernie Terrell. I hope so. We'll see what's gonna happen, but no one ever knocked me out. So I don't know if he's so good. We'll see.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our main event Saturday, live, worldwide, exclusive.
Dog, Moses got a big ass fucking head, bro. Look at the fucking head size on this motherfucker, bro. God damn. That motherfucker is all skull and with a baby neck. God damn. Look how small Hrgovic's head look next to Moses. Jesus Christ. My boy got a big ass head.
Event Saturday, live, worldwide, exclusively on DAZN. Brought to you by Frank Warren for Queensberry. It's 12 rounds scheduled for the vacant IBF Heavyweight Championship of the World. Filip Hrgovic versus Moses Itauma.
All right, well, that's the press conference, man. That's just my take on the whole situation. What I'm saying is not in my head the truth. You know what I mean? That's just me speculating. Like I said, I'm not gonna say I'm worried, I'm not gonna say I'm concerned, but like I said, I got my radars up right now because it just seems like Moses Itauma is bringing a certain type of honesty to the table that isn't usually common in the sport of boxing. You know what I mean? A lot of boxers, they lie. You know what I'm saying? To prevent showing their weaknesses and stuff like that. And it just sounds like either Moses is, playing mind games, he's being serious, or, he's being transparent, but is confident enough with himself to feel like even with that level of honesty that he'll do what he needs to do to win the fight. You know what I'm saying? Or come out on top, whatever the case is. So, that's my whole take on the situation, man. I'm looking forward to seeing this fight. I'll definitely keep I'm definitely watching the fight. That's without a doubt. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to seeing how the way this shit play out, because if this 21-year-old dude becomes world champion at heavyweight, the heavyweight division, this new era of heavyweights is going to have fucking smoke all over the place. I cannot wait. Man. Looking forward to seeing what Moses does. Shout out to Moses. Shout out to Philip. Philip seems very confident as well. You know what I mean? He's looking at this, he's looking at this like, bro, you're improving. You're young. You know what I mean? You haven't been through what I've been through. And maybe that's what gives Filip Hrgovic confidence. I'm way more experienced than you. I'm older than you. I'm stronger than you. I fought at a high level before. You know what I'm saying? And even though I came up short, I learned from those situations, and that's what makes me a more dangerous fighter. So, and maybe Filip Hrgovic's mentality in all honesty, but you can have whatever mentality you want in the ring. You know what I mean? You could, you know what I'm saying? You could say, you could talk however you want to talk. You know what I mean? You can say what you're going to do, but what matters is what you do the night of the fight. So we'll see. And, yeah, man, I'm not going to be in here too much longer. I already feel like my eyes starting to get like real blurry and shit like that. So I just want to go ahead and speak. I just want to speak on this topic. And I'm gonna bid you guys, what they call. I'm gonna bid you guys adieu. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get up out of here. I hope I said that quote right. But anyways, Alycia Baumgardner. Alycia Baumgardner just had a press conference earlier today. She's going to be fighting. What is this? I'll be having trouble pronouncing this woman's name. But Alycia Baumgardner will be facing Elif Noor Torhan, who is currently the women's IBF lightweight champion of the world. Alycia Baumgardner will be going up to the 135-pound division to compete for a world title. From what I understand, Toran, whatever her name is, she is an undefeated female fighter. So this is a solid fight for Alycia Baumgardner. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, but Elif, I believe that's her name, actually has a pretty solid knockout ratio as well. 14-0, 8 knockouts. And this, I ain't gonna lie, this card right here, this female boxing card is actually pretty good. You got Tiara Brown coming back. I mean, she's gonna be fighting Ellie Scottney. I'm not too familiar with Ellie Scottney, but she's another undefeated fighter. They're competing for the WBC. Then you got the return of Sky Nicholson. Sky Nicholson is back in the building. She's gonna be fighting Mio Yoshida. The WBC World Championship at 122 pounds is gonna be on the line, and Ramla Ali, I've heard of her. Is going up against Micaiah Krebs, who's an undefeated fighter as well. So looks like it's some lit female fighters, bro. This looks like a pretty good card. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna definitely tune in to this one. This has my attention. But anyways, I want to speak about Alycia Baumgardner, man. No, this ain't gonna be me shitting on her ducking Carolyn Dubois, anything like that. I already done spoke about all of that. Justin Jackson's already anticipating the slander. It's not gonna really be slander. It's just gonna be me calling it like it is. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a reality at the end of the day. And I just feel like it has to be said at this point. So I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all this video. You know, Alycia Baumgardner, you know, let's not get it misconstrued. She's a beautiful woman. You know what I mean? She's a beautiful woman, and I can see why a lot of people are attracted to her. You know what I'm saying? She's very confident. You know, she dresses very well. You know what I'm saying? She got a nice smile. She talks very well. I even seen her doing some commentary and shit like that. But I do think that Alycia Baumgardner has accountability issues. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people try to chalk that up to all women as bullshit. From my experience, there are a lot of women who do take accountability for their actions. And the ones who don't are usually the ones that don't got a motherfucking ring on their finger. But but anyways, no diss to, you know, my single ladies out there. But that's just a thing that I've noticed, to be honest with you. Or they just in unhappy relationships. But not to get too deep into that, I think Alycia Baumgardner lacks accountability. And I think that she thinks that she's bigger than the program. I think she's reached a level of arrogance that has pretty much been accelerated or at least amplified by these horny, thirsty ass niggas that be on the internet. You know what I mean? Because when Alycia Baumgardner was coming up, bro, I got a picture with her back in like 2022, 2021. And Alycia, she was never an ugly chick. But you know what I'm saying? She never was like the one to be like trying to sell sex appeal to try to, you know, push ticket sales. Actually, Alycia Baumgardner was known for knocking people out. You know, she was known for being like that big puncher and shit like that. And once she started to get gassed by her social media audience, all of a sudden, you know, this bitch can't stop showing ass. Y'all don't know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna show y'all.
Hey, look, it's just the slang that's so fucking bad. I don't see it. A nigga can't trap me. I won't keep it. Bitches really hate me. So be it. Bathroom floors and these hoes both here. It goes 3, 2 to the 1 in this bitch. I don't give a hoe exactly what she want in this bitch. Like trucks at the club look like Trump in this bitch. Fuck a hoe never played with me once in this bitch. Bitch, feel ain't none of my business. Hoes want me to care about them so bad. I ain't worried about none of these niggas. Can't play.
They probably gonna flag my fucking video because that song playing. Fuck. Man, I shouldn't have played that fucking song. God damn it. But anyways, man, that's Alycia Baumgardner's post. You know what I mean? And that's what she's using to promote her fight. That's what she's using to promote her fight. Arlington, Texas. Now, is there a problem with promoting your fights? Absolutely not. There's nothing wrong with, you know, you posting, you know, promoting your fight. The problem is that you use that at all costs. All right, y'all really want me to cook on this, y'all? Y'all really want me to cook on this? I'm trying to figure out exactly how to say this. I am a bit tired, so my mind is basically lagging at this point. He said Mark was so mesmerized he forget the monetization. I'm not one of those dudes, brother. I'm really not one of those dudes that just be losing a plot because somebody look good. Like I said, Alycia is a pretty woman. You feel me? I think everybody could agree with that. You know what I mean? But I ain't one of those niggas that jump out their motherfucking chair because Alycia is showing some ass in the video. You know what I mean? So let's keep it a buck about Alycia, bro. Yeah, she accomplished. She's been undisputed. She beat Michaela Mayer. She can fight. But y'all trying to convince me that like this woman is like some huge boxing star, right? But to my knowledge, she ain't got no type of drawing power, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because it seems like Alycia gets more attention. shaking her motherfucking ass like she doing that video and showing her body on Instagram than she does when it's actually time to fight. And niggas like Justin in the comments prove that shit to me. This nigga don't ever talk about how good she is as a fighter. I think I heard him say that she'll beat like Amanda Serrano. But this nigga be more invested in how the way she look rather than how she fights. I ain't see this nigga Justin buy a ticket yet. You know what I'm saying? She honestly doesn't have a fan base. No, Jay, she don't. That's what I'm trying to get across. She don't have a fan base. She got thirsty niggas online that be ready to grab the baby oil whenever this bitch got a bikini on. It's like, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, that's fine. You know what I mean? She could do whatever she want to do with her body, but Instagram engagement and boxing drawing power are two completely different things, man. And I'm gonna always bring this up. I don't give a fuck who has a problem with it. You know what I'm saying? She could bring up all the lawyers that she want to bring up, but we're not just gonna erase the PED controversy neither, man. You know what I'm saying? Because the shorty that she had initially lost to the John Christina Leonard, the two, or whatever the case is, you know, before that rematch, Alycia returned. For those of y'all who don't know, because y'all be so worried about what the fuck she be, when she be popping her ass that y'all don't even notice, she returned an adverse drug test finding involving banned substance. Yes, she did. She denied knowingly taking anything, and the WBC eventually ruled that there wasn't enough evidence to say she intentionally took the PED for performance enhancement purposes, right? But this is what, and I did a little bit of research on this, so I know that I know this is what a lot of people don't bring up. The WBC determined that there wasn't enough evidence, but what the WBC didn't do was reject the validity of the positive test. They actually put her on a fucking 1-year probation and required additional random testing. So it's kind of like, all right, like we can't prove that you intentionally took it, but we don't trust you, so we're gonna keep testing you, you know what I mean, and put you on a probation period for a year until you show us that you're really a clean fighter, or at least you stop being dirty. So we're talking about a fighter with a legitimate resume. Alycia Baumgardner got a legitimate resume, I ain't gonna lie, but no proven star drawing power, bro. No superstar drawing power. You know what I'm saying? Instead, we see a woman who gets enormous attention from sexualizing herself on social media and has a PED controversy attached to her career. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of y'all want her to be like this big superstar, and y'all want her to be the face of boxing. She be calling herself the face of boxing whenever she gets the opportunity. But I'm not putting her in the same category as the women who actually have proven that they could sell fights. I'm going to say that one more time. I am not putting Alycia Baumgardner's name with the same women that have been carrying this boxing shit and have proven that they could sell fights. The Katie Taylors, the Amanda Serranos, the Clarissa Shields. I'm not going to put her amongst those female fighters. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Y'all probably want to because, you know what I'm saying, the bitch be half naked and, you know what I mean, damn near be having, you know, one of her motherfucking lips out in the motherfucking bathing suits that she be having on. You know what I'm saying? Let me fall back. Look, being undisputed makes you accomplished, yes. Showing your ass on Instagram makes you popular, but neither one of them make you a box office star. So that's the point that I'm making, bro. A lot of y'all associate motherfuckers with getting a couple likes on Twitter and Instagram and all that shit with being stars. Alycia Baumgardner is not a star. She gets more attention, you know, taking pictures with a bathing suit on a yacht than she does when she got her hair braided up, throwing punches at bitches. So, you know what I mean? I just wanted to get that out the way. Not too much. I didn't slander Alycia Baumgardner. I brought up the realities. You know what I mean? I brought up the truth, the truth. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to hold her accountable because one thing these women want is equality, right? Y'all want to be equal to men. Y'all feel like y'all should be getting paid the same as men. Well, guess what? Part of being compared to men is taking accountability just like men do. I mean, y'all want everything that men want until, you know what I mean, until the cons come in. Y'all want all the pros that men receive for their hard work, but y'all don't want none of the cons that come with the shit that men got to deal with on their road to success. I be peeping that shit. Y'all want all the good. Y'all want to take all the good and none of the bad. That's not how this shit work. What Denzel said, when you pray for the rain, you got to deal with the mud too. God damn. If she sells out Arlington, are you going to give her credit? Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would. That'll be a great, and it's put in a position where, because it seems like a pretty fucking good card, it's put in a position where it should sell out, and if it doesn't, then that's a fucking issue. It's a great card. I already done told y'all everybody that was on the card. You feel me? This is Alycia Baumgardner's page right here. I'm surprised she ain't got me blocked yet. You know what I mean? But we see the card that's right here. You know what I mean? Y'all see it? You got Torhan, you got Tierra Brown, you got Scott Nicholson. You got some notable female fighters on here. If it doesn't sell, that's a I'm not gonna say if it doesn't sell out, then it is what it is. You feel me? But what do they mean by Arlington, Texas, though? Do they have a venue? Oh, College Park Center. All right, how many seats does College Park Center have? So let's see how many seats. So College Park Center sits up to 7,200 people for sporting events and 6,500 for end stage concerts. So sporting event, boxing is a sporting event. They'll have 7,250 seats for the fight, right? So that's a relatively small place, right? Can they sell 7,200 tickets? Can Alycia sell 7,000 tickets? How many likes do she be getting on the gram? Let's take a look. This is her last John right here. Look, liked by Justin Jackson, thirsty ass. Look at him. I can't see the number of likes. For whatever reason, it won't allow me to see the number of likes. Let me see. How about this?
Show
me the number of likes. It won't. I should be able to see the views right here. Look, 234K, 113K, 113K again, 144. So it seems like she cracks 100K plus. Look at that, 2.4 million for her weigh-in. 2.4 million for her weigh-in. 318K. So her video, she does, I'm sure she has millions of visitors on her page monthly. So why can't she get like 1% of the million people, less than 1% of a million people to buy a fucking ticket for her fight? They got no problem viewing her videos. Look, 420K. Look at her right here. Dressed up, you know what I mean? Her bag, she's doing her thing. Look at her with the weigh-ins. Looking nice and all that. You know what I mean? Look, none of her videos do less than six figures. 1 million, 500,000, 2.5. She stay in the algorithm. If she not able to sell 7,200 tickets, y'all, it's a problem. My boy Jalil Aziz says, I have to agree, Mark. I can't stand the cheater, bro. Me neither. Not in boxing. I cannot stand it. I can't, bro. And people just be so hypocritical. And me, bro, like I care about boxing so much, bro. I don't give a fuck who it is. I don't give a fuck how good they look, whatever the case is, bro. This shit could be prime Rihanna. This shit could be motherfucking Christina Milian in her prime. This could be whoever, bro. Right is right and wrong is wrong. You feel me? This nigga said Mark Goonan. Never. Never. It's never that deep. You feel me? Let me get this bitch off my page. I'm already going. They already gonna send me a little warning. Oh, you playing Cardi B in your videos, nigga? You gotta mute this, nigga. Are we not gonna give you no money, nigga? You already know how they be. YouTube be hating like shit. We can't monetize your video. You playing Cardi B again? It's like, all right. But no, it ain't never that serious. Right is right, wrong is wrong. Y'all want equality? Y'all want what men want? You gotta deal with the mud too. So I'm gonna criticize Alycia just like how I criticize Canelo, just like how I criticize motherfucking Gerald Miller, just like how I criticized Shannon Briggs when I was a young boy, just like how I criticized Antonio Tarver, just like how I criticized Billy Joe Saunders. Y'all get what I'm saying? Conor Benn. Who else? Who else? Subriel Matias. Who else? Yo, my pop been saying that shit for a minute. My dad said chick is funny looking, don't understand the hype. He was saying that shit for years too. I think she all right though. She good in my book, but yeah, I mean, in boxing, nah. We hold her accountable over here. Did I see how drained Conor Benn looks? Yes, I did, bro. Bro, he's confirming everything that I've already been saying about the nigga. Then I tell y'all Ryan was gonna knock this nigga smooth out because of how drained he gonna be for the fight. And I told y'all that he already struggling. I already told y'all that he's struggling like shit. Where's that picture of Conor Benn at? Where Conor Benn at? Let me take a look at that. Hey, this motherfucker look like a poster child for a third world country or some shit. Bro, like, and this how you know this shit bad. This how you know this shit look bad, bro. That nigga, that don't even look like Conor Benn. This don't even look like him. This don't even look like him. This ain't the nigga that I just seen in interviews promoting the Ryan fight a month ago. Feel bad for that. It's like I want to feel bad, but I can't. Because this is what happens when, you know what I mean? You write a check that your ass can't cash, bro. And you could try to lie to the people, yeah, I'm feeling great. I'm in great shape. I'm disciplined. And he already admitted that he's struggling. And he said after this fight, he's not fighting at 147 no more. If that's not a key indicator, if that nigga is telling you that he's moving up in weight months before the fight even fucking takes place, that is a serious fucking problem. That means that nigga is feeling that shit at the moment. The reason why he's telling you that his next fight, he's moving up from 147 is because he's feeling the weight. He's feeling the effects of the weight cut right now. And he has been prior to that. Hold on. Tony Bellew said, this tells you he's doing it correctly. Tony, shut the hell up. You ain't never had to cut weight, nigga. Shut up. Fuck is this nigga? Well, never mind. He fought at light heavyweight, right? Never mind. I was about to say, he was a cruiserweight and a heavyweight. He fought at light heavyweight. I think Adonis Stevenson knocked him out with some shit. But anyways, that don't look like somebody who's cutting weight right to me. That's just me. He looks very much drained. He looks very much drained. And when's the fight again? September 12th. Bro, he got 2 weeks and some change. Ooh-wee. You should have learned from the legends that came before you, bro. You never cut into the muscle. That nigga when Terrence Crawford said once you go up, you don't come back down, that's for a reason. Because the shit that could happen to you from a bad weight cut. You should have learned from Chad Dawson when he moved down to fight Ward. You should have learned from Roy Jones when he cut into his muscle at heavyweight to get down to light heavyweight. You should have learned from the people that came before you, man. But this is what happens when you a scary motherfucker because, you know what I mean? You ain't want to go to 154 because Boots was there. You know what I'm saying? You don't want them problems with Josh Kelly. You ain't want problems with a lot of them dudes. You feel me? You fought Orozco and fucking Pete Dobson at 54, but Josh Kelly's is too far fetched for you. You ain't want to fight no killers, cuz. But Pop, check this out. He may be cutting weight the right way, but the problem is his body has grown out of that weight class already. That's the problem. Now, I'm going to show y'all how he looked when he weighed 149 pounds. This is when he fought Regis Prograis. Where's that picture at? Right? Bro, he didn't even look like that when he used to fight at 147. He didn't look like that, bro. Look at this, bro. Look how bad he looks. He look like a smoker. That don't look like no fucking world-class athlete, bro. This nigga look like he fuck with Fenty. This nigga look like he a fentanyl specialist. This nigga like a grade A smoker. Ain't no fucking way. And that was at 149, Pop. So you already know how this shit go, Pop. I'm talking to my dad. You already know how this shit go. If you looking like this at 149 and a half, take 2 pounds off of that. He already looked fucked up. He got no muscle. You know what I mean? His arms look thin as hell. His face all sunken in. Nigga look thirsty in the motherfucker. Bro. Now take 2 pounds off that current frame. Take 2 pounds off of that. And when he weighed 149, the doctor was worried about him. The specialist, whatever his name was. The specialist said he was worried about him because his body fat percentage was so low. He was like, bro, like I've only seen a handful of people that got down to that body fat percentage and it wasn't healthy. For the Regis, look how drained he looked. Look at this nigga. Look at this nigga. This was his body fat percentage. Conor Bench shocked his expert technician after testing 6.6% body fat. ET said out of their 12 to 15,000 patients, only 2 to 3 have ever hit that percentage and said most were not well with their hair falling out and all sorts.
Okay. Right. So, Connor, you're at 6.62% body fat today. Yeah, good. That is insane. We don't really see that happen. Right?
How many patients have you tested?
12 to 15,000 now.
And how many would you say you've seen at 6.6% body fat?
2 or 3, and most of them are not well.
Yeah.
You know, most of them are not like, it's falling out. And
Yeah,
things.
good.
So,
Okay.
so
Well, I'm here standing, living and breathing, feeling great.
yeah,
Ready to do a 10K run in the morning.
yeah. But yeah, well done.
That's good.
Well done.
All right, mate, thanks.
Amazing work. Thank you. Okay.
That doctor or whatever he was, that ET, his expert technician, that nigga was trying to tell him something right there. He tried to tell him something without telling him something. Like, bro, this is dangerous levels of body fat to be at. He said that's messed up. Bella Faith, shout out to Bella Faith in the building. He said nobody asked for this fight. Bud gonna be there doing meet and greets. Oh man, he definitely gonna show up. One thing about Bud, he retired, but that nigga he want to be around so bad. He want to talk about what he'll do to other fighters. He want to show up to every fight. Oh no, man. He think it's a good thing. Yes, you're being disciplined, but for what? That's how bad he don't want to fight the elite guys at 54. He willing to kill himself to give himself some type of advantage. But what he's doing is putting himself at a serious disadvantage. Mazuma, can you peep my super chat? I didn't even see the super chat. Oh my God, let me see. Shout out to my boy Tricks with the $2 super chat. He said, and there is VADA testing how cooked, Connor. I mean, I think they both could, listen, we got to take into consideration that both of these guys have had PEDs in their system, not just Connor. So, you know what I'm saying? I seen a before and after picture of Ryan Garcia on Twitter. And they were saying how Ryan looks so much different. That Ryan ain't cut up like he used to be. Look, take this right here. Now check this out. Pro bodybuilders compete between 3% and 5%, but they don't take punches. Facts. And every bodybuilder I know that has been in competitions, I got one that works that comes through my job all the time. And then I had one that I trained personally. They all said that they felt like shit. That when they were bodybuilding, that was the worst they ever felt. All that, with all that muscle and all that, getting rid of all that body fat and all that. They said, bro, that's the worst they ever felt in their life was when they was cutting like that. So Conor been talking about, I could do a 10K marathon. Nigga, no, you can't. No, you can't. No, you can't. You wouldn't make it, brother. Not without rehydrating. You ain't doing that. They all end up with kidney failure. Yeah, a lot of them dudes pass. I seen one, the one boy, motherfucker on dialysis. What was his I forgot his name. He was on Joe Rogan though. That motherfucker was on dialysis. I was like, dang, that shit worth it to y'all? Shit. Anyways, let me show y'all this, man. I showed y'all before and after picture a while back. Ryan Garcia, this nigga had underboob. It's out of shit. Yeah, Rodney Coleman. Yeah. Yup. There you go, Pop. I believe it was him. He was like the strongest man in the world, bodybuilder. You know what I'm saying? He was a beast. Bro, his whole body done deteriorated. But anyways, let me show. Remember I showed y'all that picture of Ryan Garcia. He was at 135 in both pictures. This dude had underboob. He ain't had no muscle on his arms, nothing like that. That's when they was calling Ryan like El Flash, or some bullshit like that. Y'all don't remember that. That's what they used to call him. They used to call him the Flash and shit because how fast his hands were. And then he was over there with Canelo and them and came back and was buff as fuck. I'm like, you know what? Let me find that fucking picture real quick. I'm going to find that shit. I love to bring that. I never delete that picture off my camera roll. I be deleting shit off my camera roll all the time. But that shit, I keep that shit in the tuck. Because this shit needs to be seen. So niggas should have been suspicious of Ryan just based off of that alone. Where my favorites at? Where is that? Where is it? I gotta scroll a little bit up, y'all. But yeah. I need that Ryan Garcia picture ASAP. These niggas be capping. I was suspicious about Ryan. As soon as I seen that picture, I saved it right away. Then I did my research on the timelines, bro. That shit was the same weight class. Like, bro, how you put on that much muscle? You in the same weight class. Alycia Baumgardner got a picture like that too. Where she was all ripped. Look, this is the Alycia Baumgardner one. Hold on. This is the Alycia Baumgardner John. Now, this was February of 2023. Look at how her biceps look. Look at her abs and all that shit. Look at her back muscles. Look at that shit. Look at her in February of 2023. Look how cut up she was, and then look the year before. She didn't change weight classes. Look at that shit, bro. Look how in April 2022, you see how she looked all soft and feminine. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could tell she in shape. You know what I mean? She even got a little bit of definition where the abs are. But, you know, she still looked like a woman. You feel me? It's the same fucking weight class, bro. This is less than a year. This is like 10 months. These pictures are 10 months apart, bro. These pictures are 10 months apart. You telling me that Alycia didn't know? You telling me that Alycia didn't know that she was on some shit? Get the fuck out of here. Cut it out. Cut it the fuck out, bro. Y'all motherfuckers y'all be swearing that y'all well, not y'all, obviously. Not the mob, not the nation. But like these niggas be swearing that like they be slick and they really never be slick, bro. Like they never be slick. Like, where the fuck is that Ryan one? Did I delete that Ryan one? Ryan might have got away with that one. I might have deleted it. Devin looks huge at 47. I see what you're trying to do, Tricks. There's no comparison. Devin has never tested positive. Now, if Devin do some shit where he just started putting niggas out cold at 47, I'm like, all right, something going on. I won't accuse him, but I'm gonna be like, all right, that's a little bit strange. That's a little bit out of character. But Devin has never shown me that he's been on PEDs. He's actually one of very few fighters who participate in 365 random blood and urine testing. So he's definitely not somebody that I think is hiding anything. You drop the link, my boy Des gonna drop that link. That's one thing he gonna do. That's for sure. Hold on. Swear I had that shit though. I'm scrolling past my baby shower pictures and shit. I might have deleted it. Drop the link. Let me see this shit. I can't click links over the StreamYard app, but let me see this shit. No, that's not the picture I'm referring to. That's not the picture I'm referring to. That's the one that I already got right here on my screen. This is the one that I already got on the tab. The John that I'm see, look at this. This is when he was fighting Dev. Look how big the arms, the shoulders, the neck muscles. You know what I mean? Look, forearms all big and shit. You see that? And then look at this. This motherfucker back to his natural Mexican body. Looking soft. Looking soft in a bitch. And remember how small he looked in the lead up to that Rolly Romero fight? Then when he was fighting Dev, he was all big and shit, going through a mental health crisis. Bro, come on, bro. Y'all niggas gotta be fools if y'all believe that he wasn't on no bull, like he ain't take that shit intentionally. I was kind of disappointed with Andre Ward. I'm like, oh, I think he took it to make weight. That's what I think. Bro, why are you even giving him the benefit of the doubt when he don't even like you? Niggas are racist. You giving a racist the benefit of the doubt? Not over here. Guilty. You talking about? Fuck, that's how I be moving. No, he did it because they do the same shit to us. Whenever we get caught up in something, oh no, he did it. Yeah, nigga. Guilty. Fuck you mean? Damn, man. I want to show y'all this picture so bad because this picture that I got, that I had on my phone at least, that shit was brutal. Like, you couldn't deny that shit. All these pictures new though. I be deleting shit off my camera roll all the time. I probably deleted that. Nigga said I was, hold on. Nigga said this Marky Alycia. I was like, y'all dead wrong for that. Slime put me in that outfit and called me Marky Alycia. He said great minds think alike. Ward is right. About what? How he right? He right about Ryan only taking it to be, bro. The evidence suggests different. Zuma works for the ring now. How I work for the ring? Because because niggas call me Marky Alycia. That's crazy. Damn. Yeah, I believe a lot of fighters are juiced though. I'm willing to guesstimate that at least between 35 to 40% of fighters is on the juice. There's no way to prove that. Could be dead wrong. Maybe it's more. I don't know. But personally, I think between 35 to 40% of these niggas is on the juice. Shit, it could be half. It could be more than half. I don't know. But I think a lot of niggas. I watched a few niggas and I'm like, Roy Jones tested positive for PEDs before. Did y'all did you know that? Go look it up. James Toney, Roy Jones, Antonio Tarver, Shannon Briggs. Oh no, actually Roy Jones and his opponent, they both tested positive for the same PED. So maybe it was some type of contamination. I don't know. He said that it was a supplement or some shit that he bought that was contaminated. But there's people today that test positive for PEDs and niggas don't even know. Like, y'all do know that Rolly was supposed to fight Albert Puello, right? And Albert Puello tested positive for PEDs, so they canceled the fight. Y'all do know that happened, right? Niggas don't even know that. Niggas don't even know. Like, niggas just started watching boxing. They ain't even peep. Yo, Albert Puello was supposed to fight Rolly. I ain't know that. Now they got the same training. Yeah. Ryan blamed the supplements, but before that, he said he don't take supplements. That he don't even take Tylenol. So he said, and he's like, oh, it must be the ashwagandha. So you do take supplements. I got ashwagandha sitting on my dresser right now. That is a supplement. So, and he pled guilty to the New York State Athletic Commission. He know what it is. He could try to paint whatever picture he want. He full of shit. All I know is I'm not pleading guilty to some shit if I know I ain't do it. There you go. Now take a look at this, y'all. Take a look at this. This is 2019. This is 2018 and 2019. Now check this shit out. Look at the difference. This is both times. Both of these was when he was at the lightweight division. Look at 2018, Ryan. You see that little under boob right there? You know what I mean? Look at that. No muscle. He got a little bicep, I ain't gonna lie, but you know, no real definition. You know what I mean? Just got like soft body. You feel me? Soft body. Now look at this shit. That was 2018. Now look at 2019. Fucking with Canelo and them. Look, with Eddie Reynoso, he was training with Eddie Reynoso and them at the time. Go check the timelines. Go check the timelines. Make my screen bigger. You right. Look at this shit. Look at this. Look at the difference. He ain't move up in weight. Look at that. That's when they was calling him El Flash. I'm trying to tell you. This is before they started calling him King Ryan. Look at that. Now you tell me who put on that type of muscle that quickly. They did the same, bro. They did the same shit with Andy Ruiz. This nigga fucking looked like he was on Ozempic or some shit. Hay says so juiced up it looks AI. Well, guess what? AI wasn't around at the time that I had this, that I found that this picture came out. Niggas wasn't even fucking with AI at that time. That's how long ago this was. Niggas wasn't fucking with Chat GPT and all that shit around this time. This is an old picture that I had to scroll all the way up my phone to find. Peptides. Okay. Okay. Yo, Tricks, you be defending Ryan? You defend Ryan, Tricks? Copy. It sounds like you be coming to his aid a little bit. You be trolling or what? Because you said great minds think alike. Ward is right. And you trying to shoot him some bail and say it's peptides? I don't know, man. I hope you ain't defending a racist, man. That'd be disappointing if you did. Not only that, a motherfucker who's a proven drug cheat. There's no way. But y'all got any last questions before I get up out of here, man? Off with his wrench. I ain't gonna lie, that's almost wrench worthy of taking your wrench right there. I ain't gonna lie. He said, listen, man, he got me into boxing. Oh, all right. You one of them. Damn, Tricks. I thought you was the homie, man. That's crazy. What do I think of Yo-Yo? Yo-Yo, dangerous, man. Dangerous, big-ass middleweight, punch hard, you know, aggressive, good output. But, you know, I think that he just give me the impression that, you know, he in love with the knockout. He in love with the power. You feel me? So, you know, when you are infatuated with your power, at least you're obsessed with getting the knockout, you're obsessed with getting the finish. You're going to get, you know, when you get in there with somebody who is, you know, durable, that's resistant, you know, that's giving you some resistance, I should say. You might get overly desperate. You know, you might overcommit on some shots and you make the fight more difficult than what it needs to be. That's the curse in having power. Power is a blessing and a curse, and you know, according to how the way you move with it. If you understand that power isn't everything, you know what I mean? You set up your shots and, you know, you use your, you know, you find different ways to sneak your power in and stuff like that. Like if you use your power strategically, you could be a dangerous motherfucker. But when you think that you don't have to work on anything else, you don't got to perfect your craft because you always think you're going to get the knockout, you know, being a power puncher or having power could be very detrimental to you and your career. Yeah, it seemed like Yo-Yo got to slow it down a little bit. That's what it looked like to me. I didn't watch every single round, so I'm not going to speak on it like thoroughly. But you know, from what I saw, it looked like he made the fight more difficult than what it needed to be. That's just how I take it. Yeah, but one thing we never going to do is defend a drug cheat on here. That's a serious deal breaker for me. I don't play that shit. Look at this picture of me when I was a young boy. Look how dark I get in the summer. See, look at this shit. Look how bony my beard was. I was like, had to be like 17. Look at this. I be getting dark as shit in the summer. I be trying to tell y'all niggas, bro. You know what I mean? Look at that bony ass chin strap I had. That's when I was in Chicago too. That picture in Chicago, that's in the Shy. I was on a boat ride. That was my favorite picture for the longest. Hold on. Yeah, I see it. Look like a different person? Yeah, bro. I was like 17. Trying to tell you, I be getting black as shit. I'm not gonna say black as shit. I get dark as shit in the summer. But I be saying, bro, I don't even fuck with the summer how I used to, bro. I hate the heat now. I used to love being outside in the heat, doing all this shit. Now I'll be under the AC, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Mark looked Dominican. That's funny. I used to get called Dominican all the time when I was a young boy because, like I said, I used to just sit in the sun and just get super dark. I had a bunch of Dominican homies, and they all thought we was Dominican. I was the only Rican boy. Who's my Mount Rushmore of boxing? Are we talking about favorites? Or are we talking about greats, like all-time greats? Because it's different. My favorites, then we got to go Tito Trinidad. I'd be surprised how many people never watched Tito Trinidad fight. Have any of y'all not watched Tito Trinidad fight before? Keep it real. There's nothing wrong it's not a problem if you never watched him fight. Has anybody in the chat never seen Tito Trinidad fight? Y'all would love him, bro. That nigga was a monster, bro. He punched hard with both hands. His left hook was dynamite, though. Accurate puncher, walk you down, go to the body. Underrated defense, in my opinion. He had a little bit of balance issues, and a lot of his fights was exciting. But let me before I answer that, Sean Terrence, let me answer this Mount Rushmore question. Tito Trinidad, James Toney. I'm gonna put Floyd because even though he may not be my favorite fighter right now, coming up, he was a big inspiration to me. Like he was my favorite when I was a young boy. I swear I was on the money team. So I'm gonna put Floyd there, and then I'll probably throw Andre Ward number 4. Like all-time favorite fighters. So Tito, James Toney, Floyd, and Andre Ward. That's 4. Mount Rushmore is 4. Yeah, he was underappreciated. And Tito's an all-time great, bro. Like, Yeah, Mayweather started a law firm. I seen that. Yeah. He got scammed by them. You know, I ain't gonna say who they are, but he got scammed by them guys. Uh, so now he trying to scam his own people. Shit, crazy. He fought my cousin David Reed, and David Reed, your cousin? That's fire. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I know I'm really my people know David Reed. My dad know David Reed. I think David Reed actually beat my. I don't know if he fought my dad or whatever the case is, but my dad's familiar with him. My dad knows David Reed and all them. That's what's up, David Reed, your cousin. That's dope. But yeah. David Reed gave Tito a pretty good fight. I do think they rushed David Reed's career a little bit, but that's because he had that little he had a problem with his eyelid. You feel me? So I think they was trying to rush him, you know what I mean, get him a world title. He won a world title, I believe. But yeah, Tito Trinidad was just too much, man. Too much. Tito versus Joppy, bro. That's one of my favorite ass whoopings of all time. Oh my God. That shit was lovely. William Joppy was such a fucking prick. Oh my God. William Joppy still to this day talk shit about Tito. Oh, that nigga had plaster in his reps. Nigga, no, he did not. Shut the fuck up, bro. That's like one of the biggest misconceptions in boxing today. Oh, Tito had plaster in his reps. No, he did not. The nigga, Tito Trinidad, had hand wraps that weren't in accordance with New York State Athletic Commission rules, so they just made him rewrap his hands. It wasn't like fucking Antonio Margarito, where Brother Nazem took this not a block, but he had like some plaster. I guess he had like some old wraps that had hardened into a plaster, and he had it on his. He had that shit in his wraps. You know what I'm saying? That's illegal. That's why Margarito got banned. That's why he got suspended. All that shit. Tito Trinidad ain't never faced no suspension. He ain't go through none of that because, you know what I mean? I think what had happened was Tito Trinidad was stacking. You know, in Vegas they allowed stacking, and Tito did a lot of I don't know. I don't think it was necessarily stacking. I could be wrong. But Tito's hand wraps wasn't how the way New York wanted them. Every commission does their wraps differently. So, you know, wherever you are, like in Philly and LA, you could do it, and both wraps could be perfectly fine. But LA doesn't allow that type of wrapping on their side, and Philly may not allow LA wrapping on their side. So that's just how that shit go. Wherever you fight, you gotta talk to the commission to see exactly how you want your hands wrapped. So that was the situation with Tito. That was ridiculous. But you know, William Joppy, we still talking shit about Tito to this day. Oh yeah, plaster. You know, Fernando Vargas. Oh yeah, plaster. No, y'all both were some arrogant motherfuckers who thought that y'all couldn't be touched at the time that Tito fought y'all. Tito whooped y'all motherfucking ass. Y'all was so bitter about that L that y'all was so bitter about that L that once that rumor came out, y'all was like, "Ooh, we need to use this as a." Oh yeah, because you know, the whole time they was always salty about the L. So that's why he beat me. Oh, that's not why. That's not why. Do I think Oscar beat Tito? When I watched it the one time, I had to score to draw. Niggas be talking about that fight, but they ain't never really watch it. They just hear what other people say and they just follow that opinion. Me personally, the one time I watched it, I had to score to draw. But it was some rounds that you could have swung Oscar's way, where it's like, all right, I could see why people thought Oscar won. It was a close fight. It was a close fight. And Oscar gave away a few of those late rounds, man. That shit plays a difference. So if you got like 3 rounds that's close in the beginning, right? Let's say, for instance, and you know, you under the impression that you won those rounds, but then you go ahead and you give away the last 3 rounds just trying to be on your bicycle and shit, you might have just gave a nigga 6 rounds right there. You might have just gave a nigga 6 rounds right there. That's why you got to try to win every round in a fight. Oscar made a terrible decision. Maybe if he kept, hitting and not getting hit in those last rounds, he probably would have beat Tito. We wouldn't be having this conversation. But, Oscar made a arrogant decision. He assumed that he was up, and he found out quickly that he wasn't up, and he lost. Yeah, they made NUA rewrap his hands. I think I remember that. I think I remember that situation. But it wasn't because NUA had fucked up raps. No, it's just different commissions have different rules. Simple. But, it'd be so funny, like, everybody, Oscar got robbed against Tito. Nigga, you know how many times Oscar got gifts in his career? Oscar should have a few more losses than what the fuck he got on his resume. For one, he ain't beat Pernell Whitaker. He did not beat Pernell. He didn't beat Felix Sturm. I don't think he beat Ike Corte. That's just me, though. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. But, it is what it is. Everybody done got a gift in the sport of boxing. Not justifying the corruption of boxing, but there's a lot of motherfuckers that we look up to that got gifts or, had a close fight go their way. Yeah, they do. They throw that robbery term around real loosely, for sure. What's Oscar's best win on his resume? That's a good question. Because he lost to a lot of, the big names he fought. He lost to Bernard, he lost to Floyd, he lost to Pacquiao, he lost to Mosley twice, he lost to who else he lost? He lost to Tito. Damn, what is his best one? Is it Pernell? Is it Chavez? Maybe it's Chavez. That's probably the biggest win in his career. I'm going to say that because that was like the passing of the torch fight. I'm going to have to go back and watch that Ike Corte fight, but I remember watching it and was like, Oscar ain't get this. But maybe I got to watch it again. It's been some years. But I rarely change my mind on fights that I rewatch. I'm gonna say that I usually get a good idea the first time, but I'll watch it again. It's been some time. Yeah. I mean, Marquez got dropped 3 times against Manny Pacquiao in that one fight, and he ended up getting a draw. So. Yeah, Anonymous thought Corte won. Yeah, I'm telling you. Oscar got a few gifts, man. Oscar, he accomplished a lot in boxing, but he lost a lot of his biggest fights, bro. So keeping it real. Like he lost a lot of his biggest fights. Shit, damn near all of them. For real, for real. I mean, you beat Fernando Vargas, but Vargas is already fucked up after the Tito Trinidad fight. He was never the same after the Tito Trinidad fight. The Chavez wins are the best. I think the Chavez win is the best win on Oscar De La Hoya resume. He fought Oscar, yeah. Oscar he got a good resume. He was a gangster though. He fought anybody to the end of his career. What do I think about Whitaker versus Lopez? What do you mean? Oh, you talking? See, I'm talking about Pernell and shit, and you talking about this current era of light heavyweights. You talking about Najee Lopez and Ben Whitaker? I had the pleasure of watching Ben Whitaker at the Barclays. He's sharp, good punching power, very confident. Najee's a fucking beast, though, man. They different types of guys, man. They different types of guys. Like Najee reminds me of like a Jamal Charlo, like how the way that he's built, his composure, his punch selection, just very intelligent fighter, but efficient. Like he don't really get out of pocket. He don't really waste, a lot of movement on things. He's just sharp, good power, solid, and he a dog. His last fight, he went through some shit against Gallegos. He went through some shit. He made it out there. John had cuts on top of cuts on top of cuts. Still was able to get that stoppage. Ben Whitaker, he's a lot more. He's more slick, obviously, than Najee, but I don't think he's as strong as Najee. But he's a sharp puncher though, so that kind of like balances each other out. I would have to really watch these guys and study their flaws for me to know exactly who would come out victorious. But I like Najee more. I ain't gonna lie. I fuck with Najee Lopez, but Ben Whitaker, I don't know if it's good matchmaking or what. But man, Ben Whitaker been on fire lately. I ain't gonna lie. Damn, I was about to get off here, and that's when y'all start asking 1,000,001 questions. Bivol and Better Beef days coming to an end soon. That fight broke Bivol for real. Even in victory, all these surgeries. Maybe that was just an accumulation that happened throughout his career, and he just held off on it. Sometimes that's what happens too. After these dudes retire, they end up doing all these fucking surgeries and shit. Like Floyd, he did a couple surgeries. He did one on his shoulder. He did one on his hand, I believe. Bud did a surgery after he retired. Andre Ward got surgery on his I think it was his rotator cuff. Something on his shoulder was fucked. It's a lot, bro. Them dudes just accumulate injuries and just hold them off and don't deal with them. You know what I mean? These dudes be tearing their bicep, don't be doing no surgery because it can take like a year to heal and they want to keep rumbling. Yeah, bro. Do I think Najee's a bit chinny? No, I don't think that. What makes you think that? Because he got hit? Has Najee been knocked out before? Am I lost? You know something I don't know? What's my opinion of Tiger Johnson? Sharp, hungry, has potential. You know what I mean? He got fast hands and shit like that. He got potential, but I don't think that he's ready for a world title shot yet. I would like to see Tiger fight guys like, Rowan Polanco. I want to see that. I wouldn't mind seeing Tiger Johnson versus Brian Norman. I think that'd be a great fight as well. You know what I'm saying? If he can mix it up with them two guys and beat both of those guys, or at least beat one of those guys, then, he could start making a strong case for, fighting for a world title. You know what I mean? But Tiger's nice. He can fight. I'm not the biggest fan of him. My boy Slime is a big fan of Tiger Johnson, though. So Sway says, peep my last comment. Okay. Yo, Mazuma, I watched some film on Body. This ain't going to be an easy fight for Schofield at all. I picked that up about Body. Body likes to throw a punch. He likes to punch with you. So I think the Schofield's got to tap into their 5 styles of boxing and pull out the outboxer style, because I think he's going to have to, be on his bicycle, you know what I mean, and keep Lucas Body off balance and run him into shots and turn him and shit like that, because, Body strong, man. He got concussive one-punch knockout power. So Schofield got to be on point, because his father always talking about how hard his son hit, but he don't never talk about when that hot shit come back his way. You know what I mean, when that hot shit come back your way, are you going to be able to take it? You done got dropped by Renee Tellez-Giron. I remember that. I mean, that was an ugly fight for you. You won, but that was an ugly fight, so you got to be on point with a motherfucker like that. You know what I mean? What did Trick say? I mean, Chris Algieri said that Nazee's chinny. Chris Algieri got some nerve calling niggas chinny when Conor Benn put his dumb ass to sleep. Nigga got stopped several times calling niggas chinny. I don't understand that shit. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, he's chinny. It's like, nigga, bro, niggas could put together. Bro, you done been on niggas highlight reels. You can't go through an Earl Spence highlight reel without you being on it. You can't look at a Conor Ben highlight reel without you being on it. Stop it, bro. Talking about niggas is chinny, bro. Didn't Pacquiao drop Algeria like 6 times? How many times, bro? Pacquiao dropped that nigga like 6 times. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Nigga had you touching the earth every other round. Niggas is chinny, bro. But I be respecting the legends. I be loving their opinions and shit. But these niggas be talking crazy about other fighters. Then when you look back, it's like, nigga, you was like Tim Bradley telling niggas that they need to work on their defense. Their defense trash. I'm like, now I could, I could respect it if a nigga like Floyd said that or a nigga like Ward said that, even though Ward would never say no shit like that publicly. Like, bro, these niggas is very sound defensive fighters, so I'm gonna listen to their advice. Tim, bro, what Boziana said, all Tim did was get hit. Like, Tim used to, come on, bro. You literally took time off of your career because you tried to bang with Ruslan Provodnikov. Took years off your life, to be honest with you. But you said body power overrated. H2O was camping out after every combination. Do I study film on my fighters? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. My film, bro, I watch film every day, and it's not even film. You know how I watch my fighters? Just being in the gym with them. I watch them shadow box. I watch them spar. That's my film. That's my film study right there. And whenever we do fights at Pivot, we live stream all of our fights, so we can just go back and watch it and see little things that's being done, what needs to be worked on. And I got a lot of young fighters, so they got a lot of shit to work on because I'm trying to get these guys back. You know what I mean? Back jumping. Back busy because they haven't fought in a little while, so they're a little lazy right now. So I'm trying to get them back motivated. So we got a fight date in November. So, man, we're going to get some shit popping. Appreciate you, Dust. Thank you. Trick said, can you peep my last comment? All right, this is going to be the last John I look at, and I'm going to get up out of here. My boy Trick said, Bernie the Boxer said Brian Norman Jr. has come back with some wins to earn a fight with Keyshawn. Bernie is weird. First of all, Bernie need to stop acting like he's niggas' advisor, manager, promoter. Bernie need to shut the fuck up. Bud is retired. Richard Torres just woke up from that power nap. You need to stop acting like you somebody who niggas really give a fuck about. Niggas ain't even know who you was until Bud threw you on the live, nigga. And all of a sudden you a coach. But, it is what it is, bro. He gonna say whatever he want to say. But Brian Norman came back and won the fight. Keyshawn Davis just pulled out of a purse bid and is probably gonna be sitting on the shelf for the rest of the year. So, you know what I mean? Telling a nigga what he got to do in order to get the fight as if you a promoter or something. Bro, respectfully, shut the fuck up. Shut up, bro. The higher-ups determine that, according to Richardson Hitchens. You know what I mean? Whoever putting the money up, if they put up a reasonable amount of money, then it can happen. Niggas don't got to do 1, 2 fights, all that bullshit. But anyways, man, I'm gonna get up out of here. Oh, also, why didn't Bernie the Boxer say that about Tio when he was fighting Rolly? Did he say, "Oh, Tio need to get a couple more wins"? No, he shut the fuck up and he watched that fight. So if you're gonna say that about motherfucking Brian Norman, go say that about everybody else that's getting title shots and big opportunities coming off of losses. But anyways, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. I appreciate everybody that came through and showed love as always. If y'all can go ahead and hit the like button on the way out, that'd be very much appreciated. I'll be back at y'all with another live 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to continue cooking up on what's going on in the boxing world. Until then, I hope you guys have a blessed, beautiful one. I'm up out of here, man. Peace.